Why are Jonesy's eyelids open slightly? In this shot, we see the character's perspective, and it looks like he's supposed to have leaned up and started looking around, but when we cut back to him, he clearly hasn't done that at all. Jonesy's jaw stays open in the same position for 5 seconds straight. You put the detail in to have the pupils dilate in the beginning, but not to have him breathe?
No rush, no tears, we'll sit around.
Jonesy is sitting in a giant melting pot of clipping. This shot alone deserves 3 sins for all the clipping, and an additional 5 for the rest of the video. What is he doing with his hand? I can't tell if he's trying to use sign language or make shadow puppets.
To guard against big guns.
Look at how low his shoulders are. He must have dislocated them when he landed. Speaking of which, how did he even get here? We see a huge crater in the ground, but not much else to give us clues. Maybe he Buzz Lightyeared his way straight into the ground. Also, his wrist is definitely broken.
Guard against big guns. Must be stopped.
Oh my gosh, his leg too! It's just completely retracting into his body.
Must be started.
Jonesy's head shoots down here as the camera switches. The pig's right front foot is floating slightly off the ground. Also, speaking of the pig, oh my gosh, that mouth! I have never wanted to see a pig smile at me less than I do now. Yes, I too angrily frown and shake my head when I see a pig. This field of view widening was not needed here. So, the animator censors the death of this pig, but not the death of dozens of innocent villagers later in the video? Someone likes pigs too much. This snappy run cycle. Jonesy is meant to look like he's running up these blocks here, but it would not be that smooth of a run upwards. I'm willing to bet that outside of the camera view, he's just completely clipping and floating through these blocks. This stopping animation is floaty and snappy. 5 sins for all the floaty and snappy animation in this video. It should not be this bright. The sun is more than halfway behind the mountain range back there. I didn't know that this village was here until about my 3rd time watching this. When it comes to important plot points, you need to make them really clear to the viewer in order for them to understand.
Must be started.
The ends of this knot aren't dynamic.
A blessing in disguise.
All the inconsistent pixel sizes on these assets. Also, I guess it's nighttime now. These candles aren't dynamic. I usually wouldn't sin this, but later in the video there are torches that are shown to have dynamic particle effects. So, sin for inconsistency.
A blessing.
What the heck? Why is this lamppost model so unbelievably inconsistent with the Minecraft style of everything else?
Try and stop me.
That cobblestone slab on that dirt block is sitting on a grass block. It's triggering my OCD. To make matters worse, the dirt block right next to it is textured properly. If you're gonna mess up Minecraft logic, at least consistently mess it up. For my OCD's sake.
Here's some good advice.
This villager's animation.
I'm a different breed.
Jonesy's head spazzes upward here for a frame.
And you're a bad fighter. A bad fighter.
Jonesy just fires at everyone in the village. 10 sins for this uncomfortable scene of a mass shooting. I don't know what's scarier, the fact that Jonesy is shooting everyone, or the fact that he's killing everyone whilst having a default facial expression. Why don't the villagers bleed after, you know, being shot? Everything in this village is so inconsistently designed that I'm gonna add 3 sins as well as an extra 5 sins for all the rest of the inconsistent assets in this video. A single frame of a different camera angle flashes in between these 2 shots. Super snappy slow motion is super snappy. Try saying that 5 times fast. This bullet tracer is so long that it looks more like a laser sight. These flat apples are somehow standing up. Missed opportunity to use the wall as a transition to the next scene. The horse is literally just floating off the ground. Wouldn't the villager's limp body have fallen off the horse by now? Also, this horse's run cycle has no straights, which makes it look like it has cramps in all of its legs. The sky turned from midday to dusk in between shots. Why are there specular reflections on the villager's eyebrow? Is it made of iron or something? So the gate just raises straight up? Care to elaborate on the mechanics behind that? Z fighting on the wood slabs. Wait, hold the flipping phone. You're telling me this guy is still alive? Fat chance. This villager's eyelid bends are sharp instead of smooth. Also, this villager's nose is bending the wrong way. It should be bending to the left, not to the right. This guy's mouth is super smooth, but Steve's mouth is super blocky and sharp. Just use the same base rig for all the characters. The animator shows Steve slide on his armor here, but then when he puts armor on his shoulders, it just appears. The helmet just moves on its own without his arms pushing it down. The top of this shelf is distracting because it makes it look like the video's aspect ratio is changing. The iron golem in the back just turns transparent at the end of this shot. Maybe when you have a genocidal murderer approaching, keep the gate closed. Why is that birch tree leaning? Also, why is there a tree that close to the fence inside of the city? These run cycles are just terrible. Adding 5 sins, 1 for each run cycle here. The animation of Jonesy trying to reach for the grenade is so spazzy that it looks like he's having a seizure. Also, that's not even the grenade model used in Fortnite. The grenade freezes in mid-air before exploding. It's super clear that after the smoke dissipates, there's not even a scratch left on the environment from this explosion. Z fighting on the iron golem's arm. Steve over here looks more like he's chilling rather than looking like a grenade just went off right beside him. Apparently crouching down half a foot is enough momentum to launch yourself into the stratosphere. Is this shot supposed to be in slow motion? It's hard to tell because this video switches between normal and slow motion so much. That awkward roll. You can see where the sky texture repeats itself. The pickaxe doesn't leave any marks after digging into the ground. Character stands idly whilst being killed cliche. There's a random shadow spot that appears for 1 frame in this shot on the path in the background. This mouth deformation. Why are you drinking this? The last time I checked, the only orange potion in Minecraft is a fire resistance potion. So either you're being stupid right now, or you're just really cautious about getting a sunburn. The arrow just wiggles around. The arrow shouldn't have gone anywhere near Jonesy wiggling like that. Casually shrugging off an arrow that just got shot straight through your shoulder. What? I thought the video was over and then we just randomly get this little clip of Steve having a spasm. This video was certainly something. I honestly think the Fortnite vs Minecraft story could have been fun and entertaining if it was handled properly. The animation was choppy, the assets were inconsistent, and that one scene with the shooting in the village was actually pretty disturbing. Overall, an unfortunate mishandling of an otherwise fun concept.
In their tongue, he's Dovahkiin, Dragonborn.